I have to start by saying this truly is the summer of the apes. I mean, we got movies like Kong versus Godzilla, we got Monkey Man, and now we have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It really is a wonderful summer, or as Proximus might say, what a wonderful day.
What a wonderful day!
So the movie's main character is a young ape named Noah, which I have to say looks very similar to Caesar. I mean, they even have the same mark on their chest, which Nova gets during his fight with Proximus. Now, his name Noah is a reference to Noah and his ark, where in ancient times, people became very sinful, that God decided to flood the entire earth to wipe out all living creatures as punishment, except one good man named Noah. So God instructed him to build a huge boat called an ark to keep his family and pairs of every animal species safe during the flood. And this is sort of a direct reference because we saw Noah save his family from the flood, but the one who blew up the dam and caused the flood is actually May. So this could also refer to humans acting like God. There are also other name references like Nova, which is a nod to the first young girl that is raised by apes in the movie War of the Planet of the Apes, which sort of brings the question what big thing she must have done for her name to be given to all humans 300 years later. It's also a nod to Linda Harrison's character in the original film called Nova. Also, this scene where Noah and May stumble onto this creepy scarecrows shaped like a big X is sort of a throwback to the original Planet of the Apes when Taylor and his crew found similar scarecrows marking the Forbidden Zone. These spooky figures give a heads up that they're entering a seriously intense zone under Proximus's control. Now, seen repeatedly throughout the film is this symbol, which has survived for generations after Caesar's death. So the symbol is a reference to the window that Caesar frequently looked through as a kid in the first movie, and it's referenced many times throughout the film. It's also shown in the ape village scene in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. So by the time of the movie, which is 300 years later, Caesar has become a legendary prophetic figure, with the symbol now seen as a representation of his teachings and intentions. But without no written text or book, his words seem to have been butchered and taken differently by each clan, all having their own version of it. Proximus was also able to corrupt the messages and teachings of Caesar into his own benefit. One of this is in the use of Caesar's hand symbol, which is a symbol of unity, which we see in the opening scene of the movie at Caesar's funeral. But Proximus turned it into a sign of his power. And also, many times we see him refer to himself as the next Caesar, and his name Proximus actually means next in Greek. So this is also another brilliant naming from the writers. Now in the whole franchise, one of the most epic moments is when we see Caesar shout "No" in the first movie. And here also, we get a clear callback to the original scene while Noah, May, and Taka were making their way through the Forbidden Valley, and she screams Noah's name, revealing that she can actually speak. And it might be a bit of a stretch, but even their words are very similar because she screams Noah, while Caesar's first word was no. Another callback to the original is the hunting party, where a raiding apes on horseback rush in to capture the humans, which is very similar to the original Planet of the Apes scene, where a similar hunting party captures several humans, including Taylor. The apes, in both cases, also used nets, which led to the capture of multiple humans. There were also scenes where the music from the original were sampled as well. And by the way, they call the humans echoes, which is a reference to the Greek mythology Echo, who was a very talkative nymph who loved to tell stories and have the last word. But one day, Echo distracted the goddess Hera with her endless talk, while Hera's husband Zeus slipped away to pursue another girl. So Hera cursed Echo so that she could no longer speak first and was only able to repeat what others say, hence being an echo. And in the movie, the humans obviously can't speak but probably can repeat what the apes say back to them. And one of the final scene is when Noah starts singing and calling the Eagles to throw Proximus of the cliff. And this sort of shows evolution of the apes 300 years after, which is domestication of wildlife like humans do with dogs. And it's even more like humans with dogs because of how the Eagles are loyal to their owners and even protect them. Finally, we see May returns to her camp, but she stays out and don't go inside. And that's not because she wanted to see the satellites or anything. Rather, it's because she have been exposed to the outside world and already been infected with the virus.